Welcome to another edition of Jackman Radio. I'm your host, Mike Jackman, and I am joined by a couple of independent filmmakers and writers, producers, and actors, I believe, at least one actor, Mr. Austin Rice and Mr. Michael Lloyd. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having us, Mike.
Yeah, so I kind of saw on social media through mutual friends, Vito Trigo, who we were talking about a little bit off air, and Dave Zay, we're posting about this upcoming horror film that caught my eye called Nightmare at Nana's, and led me to you guys. And now, did you write it, Austin, or did you co-write it with someone? Or
I wrote it. Yeah, I'm the writer, director, and one of 4 producers on it.
Okay, awesome. And Michael, I take it you have a big role in the film?
I do. Yeah, I play one of the main protagonists in it, Simon.
One of the two brothers, I think?
One of the two brothers who I'm playing. The other brother is my brother in real life, so that should be fun.
Oh, that's awesome. I always love collaborating with my brother. We do comedy stuff, music, podcasting, and
yeah,
that would be really cool to act in a feature film.
I know, it's great because we can get together and just kind of bounce ideas back and forth,
Yeah, well, before we get into this project, which I'm really excited to plug and talk about, I wanted to get your kind of the background on you guys, like what got you into filmmaking, like what are your influences and experiences, and what kind of pushed you towards the horror genre.
Yeah,
if you want to go first, Austin.
Sure. Yeah, so I've always been into movies, like as far back as I can remember, and the movie that got me interested in being like a director was the original Alien, and I saw that when I was probably like 12, and then there was all this build up to seeing it. Like my parents like, I don't know if you're ready for this. It's going to be really scary. It's going to screw you up. And I was like, oh, I'm fine. And then when I watched it, I was just like smiling the whole time and went to bed with a smile on my face because I thought it was like the coolest, most perfect movie I'd ever seen, from like the cinematography and the design and the writing and acting. It was just all,
Yeah.
And so that was the one that got me into filmmaking, and then from there, over the first couple of years of teenagerdom, I got into like 80s kind of slasher and horror and the more kind of campy stuff. And right around that same time, I met Michael, and we started kind of dabbling into making our own little ridiculous skits together, and it just kind of grew from there.
But yeah.
You guys are like Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, but in Vermont. Like the Vermont version of the
compliment. Yeah.
Right.
That's that's cool. I mean, Alien and Aliens are you said Aliens, right? The second one was that? Or
well, I think they're both
top
notch.
Okay, so you started with the original Ridley Scott original. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How about you, Michael?
I feel like mine's kind of opposite. I think I started with like the campy stuff, and then moved into like some of the more not real horror, but stuff taken a little bit more seriously in some ways. But like there was a local rental spot, like VHS rental spot in our hometown that did this deal called 7 for 7, and it was like you get 7 VHS tapes for 7 days for $7. And my dad, when we were kids, we would go there and get all these. We'd like 1 week we'd do the whole Leprechaun series, 1 week we'd do like Nightmare on Elm Street. And we were definitely too young, but my dad was like, they'll be fine. They won't have nightmares. There's no way. Like, it's campy horror. And yeah, I didn't really have nightmares. Eventually, he showed me arachnophobia, and that kind of messed me up for a while.
Oh, God, that's still tough to watch to this day, man.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but
it holds up.
It does, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Austin and I met in middle school and started filming skits together. We tried to film a sitcom together. That got banned.
Our teachers basically deleted all the footage and reprimanded us because the sitcom was so ridiculous.
It was too spicy. Yeah, it was spicy.
Yeah.
We had it was called the Marty and Maddie Show, and Michael played Marty, and our friend Matt in drag played his wife Maddie. And we just went, made them the grossest, most, ridiculous couple you'd ever seen.
Yeah, I don't think it was safe for high school, really. So,
like a darker version of Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
That's
it
funny.
Was brutal.
Yeah, I mean, my old man let me watch Total Recall. So that when I was really little, the scene the two scenes that stuck out was Arnold's eyes popping out of his head when he's and then the girl with the three,
Oh yeah.
Those are the two. And then my dad let me watch Hellraiser when I was little. He was like, he wanted to watch it. My mom was like, he's gonna have nightmares, and I did have nightmares from that. And
that's understandable.
It led me into the horror genre, which eventually I got to meet the cast of Hellraiser, and so it's been really cool. Like from childhood getting into horror films, and then meeting some of them, and I did shoot a trauma film with Vito Trigo probably 12 years ago now, Return to Nukem High.
Nice.
That was cool, meeting him in college and then doing college films together, and then being on the set of a trauma film, which I think is the longest running independent film company in the whole world at like 50 years or something like that.
Wow.
So coming from middle school together and doing these projects, what's it like now flashing forward? I think this is probably your third feature or second feature, and you guys are kind of the indie part of the indie film scene in Vermont. What's that like?
Well, this is my first feature as like the writer director. We've done a couple kind of, extended short films, like half-hour, 45-minute ones. And then, I recently produced a feature that's in post right now. But this will be the first time that I'm at the helm of something. And so, yeah, it's exciting to be, building upon everything that we've worked on in the past, and also putting a different spin on it and exploring kind of different tones and just pushing our limits creatively. And it's been kind of a mission of mine to help foster an exciting creative film scene in southern Vermont, because for the most part there's some documentary stuff going on, there's kind of like some historical drama stuff going on, but that's about it. And as growing up here, it would have been a dream to work on something like this as like a PA or something. So I'm excited to kind of create that for a lot of the other younger people who are getting into film in the area right now.
Yeah, that's really cool. So are you able to kind of do like local casting calls for certain parts of the film, or like how are you incorporating a lot of the local stuff with the project?
Yeah. Well, the cast is largely set at this point, and we've got some it's a mixture of people I've worked with in the past, the Lloyd brothers, and some people from the theater company in the area, Vermont Suitcase Theater Company. And then also there's a couple people that I've wanted to work with but I haven't had a chance to up until now, like Vito and Dave Zay. And it's kind of just like assembling the dream team of people I know I work really well with, and people that I've got a nice rapport with and we want to work together. And then there's also, we've got a notable 80s scream queen has given us a letter of intent to star as Nana, and we can't disclose her name while we're crowdfunding, but we're all very excited to work with her as well.
I heard some talk about that. Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys about that. When I was prepping for this, I was like, could it be Barbara Crampton? Could it be Heather Langenkamp? Could it be there was a couple of that came to mind, but that's awesome. So like 80s, she's kind of an 80s. She's known for her.
Yeah.
I'm sure genre fans will know who it is once they
will. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's definitely got a significant following. So
that's great.
Exciting stuff.
So that kind of dovetails into, obviously, with all endeavors, artistic projects, whether it be music or film or touring or creating something, you got to have funds for it. So it looks like you guys are maybe halfway there on the fundraising page, and I do want to show that to everybody here. Let's see.
We're getting there.
So this is Seed and Spark, which is kind of, it reminds me of like a I don't know, GoFundMe or Indiegogo, right? Like,
yeah,
right.
Same idea.
It's that kind of idea, just specifically for indie films. And we have like a 60-day campaign. We launched it less than 2 weeks ago, and we're already over 50%. So we're feeling pretty good about that.
Wow, that's really impressive. And just for our listening audience, this is seedandspark.com/fund/Nightmare at Nana's. And we're going to put that in all the links. And the description they have here is, in the climate of division, there's one thing we can agree on. Campy 80s horror movies are lots of fun. We are making a love letter to that era while turning tropes on their head in the process. A film set in the beautiful state of Vermont, with heart, humor, and a healthy serving of cannibalism. Wow, that's quite a pitch, boys.
Yum. Yum, yum, yum.
Cannibalism's kind of like, since that movie Raw came out a couple years ago, that French, I think it was a French film. I don't think I'll ever watch that again, but that stuck with me.
Yeah,
but it sounds like you guys are going more for, like, I don't know, Texas Chainsaw meets Evil Dead meets, like,
definitely
maybe not zombie, but
right. Yeah, no zombies in this film, but
okay.
But yeah, definitely kind of it's self-aware in its campiness, and but at the same time we're like taking the different elements seriously in our approach to them. Like, so there's like authentic horror moments, there's lots of authentic comedy moments, and then some like thought put into the dramatic character arcs. So there's you got a reason to be invested in these characters and care about what happens to them. So it's not just gore for gore's sake, but we're being aware of everything going on and trying to do it all justice at the same time.
With practical effects, obviously bringing Dave Zay in. Make sure you yell at him, more blood. Just say, more blood, and he'll bring it.
Absolutely.
What horror actors, Michael, are you? I know you said you kind of came in through the campy or slasher, but are there actors in the genre that you are really inspired by, or that you really enjoy?
I mean, obviously Bruce Campbell, I love.
Yeah.
He's just such a cornball. So I grew up with him a lot, and then I mean, I don't know. I've been I kind of just flick through movies pretty quickly and don't really gravitate to certain ones in particular. I've been loving, obviously, Terrifier. How the facial expressions are pretty incredible. That kind of clowny nature. But recently, I've been watching a lot of kind of like business shows and stuff because of the character I'm playing. I'm playing like a local politician, so like I kind of have to be serious in this one.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I've been just trying to catch up on different stuff on HBO and kind of get well learned in how to be a serious actor. I think there'll be funny parts, but I think my brother's gonna be playing more of the wild card for this one.
You're gonna kind of play it more straight and maybe put in some absurd situations, but that's what will make it funny.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's cool. And so your brother's character, it sounds like maybe he'll be a little bit more off the wall, or
he's gonna be he'll be the kind of wild partier that just can't really give up the party even in his old age. And I'm trying to get my life together and have a normal job, and he just kind of wants to reel me right back into partying with him. And
is he the, I read about a little bit, he's a musician who hasn't given up on his dream, or he's a former musician?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And so you're both musicians or former musicians. You've tried to get a real job and turn your life around, and that's
we used to be in a band, and now he still wants to keep it going, and I'm just trying to get past it, really.
That's what I love about a good horror, even silly ones. There's so many things that you can relate to, and I think that's the best. Like teenage horror comedies of the '90s, like Idle Hands, or there's kernels and elements in there that's like that the audience can relate to, and I think that always makes a good horror flick, and also good social commentary, like George Romero's films. You can sneak a little bit of that in there, like I really like Day of the Dead. That one I don't think is the most popular one, but that's the one from 1985 where they're underground in the military base.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's I go back and forth between that one and Dawn as being my favorites in that series.
Dawn of the Dead, yeah.
Yeah.
The original one, or
the 1978 Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
The remake, it was okay for a remake in my opinion, and it was cool to see some of the actors come back in different ways, but
yeah. Zombies
don't run. Come on. Give me a break. So let's look a little bit at the Dead Alive. That's Peter Jackson, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Bad Taste as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think didn't he shoot those in New Zealand?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is pre Lord of the Rings, folks. I mean, this is where he cut his teeth, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Shaun of the Dead. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and there's tiers here, folks. If you want to contribute, you can do anywhere from, I'm sure any amount, but starting at $25, they'll give you a social media shout out, and up from there, there's thank you videos for $50, test screening. So I imagine you'll want to do the premiere probably in Brattleboro or in
Yeah,
Vermont.
that's the plan. We don't have like a set timeline to get it done. We really want to shoot it efficiently and then really take our time and post and do it as much justice as we can. But the dream right now would be have like a family and friends kind of unofficial premiere at the Latches Theater in Brattleboro, like Halloween 2026.
That's awesome. So, and you guys are, I think, planning on shooting this upcoming summer 2025?
That's right. Yeah, July. We'll basically
Okay.
be filming for like all of July and try to get it all shot at that point.
Wow, all Vermont made here, folks. Vermont, not just the green state, it's a red state too.
Shooey.
Red for blood. So, how's the response been up there? It looks like you guys have got some great media hits and some shine on this project right now.
Yeah, it feels like we've got some local interest for sure, and we got some momentum, and there's a lot of people who want to support making it happen, and we're just continuing trying to get the word out, obviously, and keep the momentum going. But yeah, so far feeling really good about it.
Yeah,
this is our first time doing a crowd-funded project, so we're kind of learning as we go, but it seems to be going pretty well so far.
Yeah, no, it looks like you guys got your ducks in a row, and this is the Facebook for everybody out there, facebook.com/nightmare@nanas. It looks like you have all the updates on there and some of the media.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm excited to have like a trailer out and stuff too. I think that'd be super fun once we get everything we get enough clips together and can start kind of teasing the special effects makeup team and all that. Like,
oh yeah,
that's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, when do you think we could expect a trailer?
Well, I mean, like a proper trailer will be some point after July, but maybe we'll get some sort of teaser footage ahead of principal photography in the coming months. Probably won't be before we end this fundraising campaign, because this thing goes till January 10th. So we're just trying to, all hands on deck, try to get it out there. But at that point, from then until July, we'll just be doing pre-production and getting building sets and effects and rehearsals and all that jazz. And so maybe during that period, we'll do a little teaser as well.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, we'll definitely share that when that comes out. And that's cool. You went on with Tim Heidecker. How was that? I haven't watched that yet, but how did that go? He's quite a character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that was a very surreal experience for me because, back when Michael and I met when we were like 14, Tim and Eric was like one of the first things that we like bonded over was like the absurdity of, Tim and Eric Awesome Show and then all their stuff ever since.
Yeah. And
so he's been like a major influence on me for sure. And so getting to call in and chat with him was like, I was definitely nervous, but as far as the way Tim Heidecker operates, I'd say he was very generous and gracious, letting me plug this project and asking about it. And so
he was nice to you. He wasn't trolling you during the interview or being belittling at all.
Surprisingly, no. He was very, very, very kind about it because we have a mutual friend, Ruth Garbus, who kind of coordinated that appearance and, reached out to Tim and said, here's this filmmaker doing this thing. And, I'm a fan and a friend of him. And he said, sure, you can call in. I'll make sure he gets through.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I knew Ruth, I think I was in his good graces. So
that's lucky.
Well. Yeah.
Sometimes it's you can have the tools and the talent, but you got to have a friend of a friend sometimes. Or, but yeah, I mean, Vito actually reached out to me, and I had already looked at some of your stuff, and he was like, "Well, what do you think?" I said, "I'd love to do a podcast with you guys and promote this project." And when Vito comes up, I know filming is crazy, but maybe I could visit or see him or meet you guys in person, or that would be
absolutely, man.
That'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you can come visit the set or something.
Yeah, and it's all going to be pretty much filmed in Brattleboro.
I think for the most part, we might do some surrounding towns. We might do some stuff in northern Vermont because they've got access to some like beautiful kind of landscape up there, and so we're going to try to really get some beautiful cinematography of the Vermont landscape is one of our goals of this thing. So,
Oh, definitely. I'm sure. Yeah, for location scouting, there's some great, probably wooded spots. But are you trying to do it all like on location as opposed to like a set, or maybe? Are you doing any? Are you constructing any like sets or anything like that? Or
We need to build a cabin. We should build a log cabin.
Like Evil Dead?
Yeah, exactly. Start from scratch.
Not really.
that might take up a little bit of the budget. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's for the most part, it's going to be on location, but we are going to probably construct a few things. Like there's an important scene that happens in Nana's attic, and so we'll probably be constructing a set for Nana's attic at our DP/producer's studio. So at least that will be constructed, but I think for the most part, everything else will probably be on location.
That's cool. Yeah, you can't beat that.
Mm-hmm.
That's even though I did revisit Psycho 2 recently, and I'm pretty sure that whole thing was shot on the Universal backlot, and the house there is basically just a set. Talk about grandma's attic.
Wow.
Mother in the attic and the basement.
Yeah,
I thought that was, as far as sequels go, it was a pretty solid sequel.
Yeah, I've got to see that one, but I remember it's got pretty good reviews, right?
Yeah, it was actually written by Tom Holland, who directed Child's Play. And Fright Night.
Nice.
Fright Night.
I'm adding all these to my list right now.
Yeah, as far as horror sequels, what second installments do you guys really like? That
Evil Dead 2 for sure. I love that one.
I think it's, in some ways it tops the original.
I agree. Yeah.
But
I think so. I know this is very new, so I don't know if it counts. But I mean, I just watched Smile 2 last night.
Oh, how was that? I want to see that.
It was actually like, I think it's so far. I think it's better than the first one. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And like I'm not super into the majority of like newer horror movies. They gotta really freak me out, and this one did a pretty good job at freaking me out. The gore in it is very good.
Nice.
And how they mix practical and CGI with the gore, like the blood splatter and stuff. They made sure that was all like 3D rendered and like color corrected perfectly. Everything looks really good in it. So
yeah, I gotta check that out. That's definitely on my list. The first one was pretty creepy.
Yeah. It was. Had
some creepy moments, and I need to check that one out. Another one that kind of came out in the last decade, and there's another one. There's this follow-up was It Follows.
Oh yeah,
that came out in 2015 or 14 at this point.
Yeah, the movie's great. They're working on the second one.
Sequel. There's a sequel.
Yeah, the same guy is going to be writing and directing the sequel, and I think it's coming out next year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And as a child of the '90s, I got to say, Scream 2 is one of my.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed Scream 2, even though I think the original killers leaked online. They retooled it, and it still ended up being a good. It was like one of the first films to have stuff leak online, so they had to do the script, I think, in red ink or something, so it couldn't be copied.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's wild.
But hey, the horror genre, man, has expanded in recent years, and they got the phrase "elevated horror." I don't know about that, but hey, A24, and I think this year has been a great year for horror. So I think you boys probably got a lot of wind in your sails going into this project, and probably a lot of interest. So
definitely,
we will certainly keep an eye on it. Is there any other places that you can check out your work, or what?
Well, you can. It's a different kind of vibe. It's not horror, but if you want to see some of our past work, you can check out the Lil Balzac movies, which are on YouTube and on Troma now.
Nice.
Those are the first one's like a kind of surreal stoner comedy, and then the second one kind of takes that character and puts him into a gritty bank heist action film, and they're both super ridiculous and funny, and yeah. So and there's some good gore effects in the second one actually as well, because at that point even I was like really thinking about wanting to do a horror movie, so we kind of tested out some stuff on that, and yeah.
Nice. Michael, are you in that one? Are you the main guy in that one, or?
I have small parts in the first two.
Okay, and that's BALZEC, or
it's BALZAC.
Okay.
Lil Balzac.
Lil Balzac. It's a foreign last name. It's a foreign name.
I play like the music producer that Lil Balzac wants to like work with, basically.
Yeah.
So is he like a rapper? Is he a rapper or something?
He's a wannabe rapper, yeah.
And I'm like, he's the wannabe, and I'm like the end goal. He's like, I'm gonna move to Philadelphia and work with this guy, and I play like this kind of mob boss looking music producer.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great.
And it's funny because so Michael's kind of like one of the stars of the first one, and then his brother Cameron is one of the stars of the second one. And so, you know, I worked with both of them on different films, and now this new one we get to have both of them co-starring together. So, yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. That's the thing too when you're working on these projects, just how much fun it is. Obviously, it's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, man, if everyone's having fun and there's something special that happens after you've been filming all day and everyone's tired beyond the point of exhaustion, but you can get another take, or maybe you're a little not delirious, but maybe like a little, you know, you're a little freak, maybe caffeinated, maybe kind of just going on adrenaline. So that kind of seems like you guys are going for that vibe. And obviously, you know, you don't have a big studio behind you, but it's a labor of love, and you know, every dollar is going to go on screen, right?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. No, my style of directing is like, it's, you know, as important that we make a great movie that people enjoy as it is that everybody making the movie has a good experience and can feel happy and proud to be part of it. Because, you know, there's so many filmmakers out there who operate from like ego, and, you know, like the people, you know, below them are not important. And that's just, you know, not a vibe that I want to be making in the world at all. You know, everybody's valuable, and, you know, their contributions matter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely. And it seems like you're willing, and you do wear multiple hats.
Yeah.
For this type of thing.
Yeah. With indie film, I think everybody basically ends up wearing multiple hats for sure.
You know, not afraid to mop up some fake blood and you know.
Yeah.
So how do you get the actors to kind of do what you want if they have to get like a lot of fake blood on their face, or what's kind of your
I mean,
what's
for me at least, I told Austin he can do whatever he wants with me.
Throw me you guys go back to middle school, so yeah.
I was like, as long as it makes the movie popular, you can chuck me off of a building. I don't care, man. Let's make this happen.
Yeah, a big part of it is like finding the right people who are like, you know, as excited about making this thing as I am. And so when you've got that kind of enthusiasm and commitment, then, you know, they're ready to do some really wild stuff. But then also, just like kind of talking it out with them about exactly what it is, and, you know, how we're going to do it safely, and make sure, you know, if it's uncomfortable, we're going to be conscious of that and not kind of prolong it or anything. So just being kind of aware of what everybody's feeling and communicating and working with it.
That's great. Yeah, that'll make for a great collaborative effort. And just by some of the stuff I've seen, looks like you guys got an amazing crew, and it's going to be a unique, exciting picture. So it's Nightmare at Nana's, everybody. This is independent Vermont cinema coming up, and a new contribution to the horror genre, and the cannibalism meets creepy old people meets slasher subgenres, all mixed into one fun bag.
The perfect movie.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. If you have any other things you want to plug, or just kind of
I think that's
end
pretty
on
much it. The Seed and Spark page. You know, if you want to make this movie happen and want to help make it happen, go check us out on Seed and Spark.
Nightmare at Nana's.
Seed and Spark, everybody, and they're getting there. They're over halfway to their goal. I'm going to be chipping in a little bit when I can, with my next check comes through. But no, independent cinema, guys. We believe in it, and these guys are obviously living it right now, and we look forward to seeing this, and we will keep an eye on updates. And once the trailer comes out, you know, maybe we can have you guys back on. Maybe with Vito and Dave do more of a panel thing, or maybe just sometime just chat horror films. You know, I like to do happy hour podcasts where we just maybe have a couple beers and just chat. Chat horror. You know
I'm
down. All right. Well, that is Austin Rice and Michael Lloyd, everybody. We thank you for watching, and have a great day.
Thanks, Mike.